Hey everyone, my name's HarryAtomic, or should I say, ahoy everybody? That was awful, I know. So it's midweek, which means it's time for another Community Day video, and this time we talk about the rumours that the PS5 is going to be more powerful than the Xbox Series X. Anyways, let's get into it after the intro. So before we get started, I want to ask you guys to please consider subscribing to my channel and liking this video. Now, I put out all kinds of Xbox videos. We talk about Xbox One, Xbox 360, game collecting, news, rumors, all sorts of stuff. So if you're into Xbox at all, then I think this might be the channel for you. Anyways, let's get on with the video. So for anybody that doesn't know, Community Day is a video where I post a poll on the community tab. Everybody votes on it, leaves some comments, and we troll through and see exactly what everybody has to say. So the poll this week was, with the rumor/news that the PS5 is more powerful than the Xbox Series X, has this changed your mind at all? Now, it seems that most people have stuck with the first answer, saying that no, it doesn't matter, I'm going to be getting an Xbox Series X because I just like Xbox. Whereas some people feel the same way about the PlayStation, as well as just leaving it and making up their mind later. It seems that only a really small amount of people are swayed by the power of a console. But anyways, as always, the truth lies in the comments, so let's dive down and see what you guys had to say. So the first comment is from Elite1712, who says, I was always going to pick up a PS5 on release day, and then later down the line I'll buy the Xbox Series X. Just want to wait for Microsoft to release some good exclusives for it so I don't waste money in the same way I did when I bought an Xbox One, since it hasn't been the best in terms of exclusives and Microsoft failed to deliver in terms of quality this time around, in my opinion. Will the Series X be better? I hope so, but I'd rather get a PS5 straight away, considering Sony have a good track record in terms of exclusives and quality. Now, I was always going to read out this comment because I have a few things that I feel like I could add and agree with here. However, I also wanted to put it first because there's no hatred at all for anybody that wants to buy a PlayStation. I know I'm a massive Xbox fan, as you can probably tell. However, I have no hatred at all for PlayStation. I drink my morning coffee out of a PlayStation mug. So anybody that likes PlayStation and just wants to see what's happening on the Xbox side of the fence, yeah, this is probably the channel to do that. So anyways, as you were saying, you've decided to pick up the PlayStation 5 first based on the track record of this generation, and really no one can blame you for that. This generation, the Xbox One had a rocky start. It seemed that it didn't really have any direction at all. It didn't know what it wanted to be. It wanted to be everything, then it wanted to be a gamer's best friend, and then exclusives were a bit weird, whereas Sony seemed to have a unified vision based on the lessons that they learned from the PlayStation 3. I am a blind Xbox fan. I will buy an Xbox, but I will also buy a PlayStation 5, and I know for some people a PlayStation 5 is a day one purchase exactly for the reasons that you said. Now, another thing you brought up was the topic of last week's poll, where Microsoft said that the Xbox Series X wasn't going to have any first-party exclusives in its first year or so. I know for a lot of people that'll put them off, especially because that was sort of the feeling this generation with Microsoft, and Sony tend to have better exclusives all around at this point. So yeah, I completely understand if you're in any way hesitant because of this generation. It's because this generation did that to make people feel that way, and it's probably the right way of feeling. I don't know. Anyways, on to the next comment. Nick Tubby said, Option 5, console power is a factor. I don't believe these rumors though. Series X day one and PS5 Pro after a few years when they have a decent library of exclusives. Sneaking on a wee Option 5 under the poll. Oh, that's a bold move there. I like it. But yeah, this is probably going to be the option that I'll take as well. I mean, console power is a thing for some people. I know some people want their consoles to look super nice and they buy good TVs and they hook it up with all the best cables. And why did my Xbox turn off? I'm trying to like make the background more interesting because I got a new TV, so I'm trying to have the Xbox on in the background, but the screen dimmed itself. So now when I'm recording videos, I'm gonna have to like poke the controller every so often. Anyways, not important. So as I was saying, this is definitely the option that I'm gonna take. I'll be getting a Series X on day one with whatever accessories I can get my hands on, mainly because of I love Xbox and also for channel reasons, and I think I'm really just convincing myself that that's the reason. I just really want the big fridge looking thing. But yeah, I will be picking up a PS5, but usually whenever it comes to purchasing consoles for me, if it's not an Xbox, which I usually buy pretty much as soon after release as I can, it's usually down to how many games that I want to play on that system. I don't like buying like a £300 system and then spending another £60 on a game, because then for me I just spent £360 to play that one game. So usually what I do is wait until there's enough games that I can justify spending all of that money on a console. Usually my rule of thumb is if the value of the games that I want to play is greater than the value of the console, then I'll go ahead and pick it up. But anyways, thank you Nick for the comment, and on to our last one for this community day. So Advitech says, couldn't care less about power. The Sega Dreamcast, despite being a great console, was significantly more powerful than the competition and still lost. You really know how to hit me where it hurts. So as well as Xbox, I absolutely love the Dreamcast. There was something about the Dreamcast that, I don't know, maybe it was the fact that the romanticism that surrounded it being Sega's swan song. Maybe it was just the fact that the games were a wee bit weirder than maybe some of the other titles that were being brought out early in like the PlayStation 2's life cycle. But either way, I absolutely love the Dreamcast, and what you're saying is completely true. The Dreamcast had loads of features. It came with its online networking thing completely built into the console, or it came with it like attached to the console. It touted itself as being like friendly with Windows CE, like it's built off Windows CE, so they're already touting the fact that like, look, we're trying our best to be as friendly as we can to developers. It had that wee memory card thing that was also a Tamagotchi that you could like play games when you're out and about. It had all this going for it, yet still managed to lose the console race. Plus it came out first, which meant it had all of the market to itself whenever it first launched, and yet it still lost. So I agree here. I think that the moral of the story is that while power is something that can draw people into your console, if you want people to stay there and not have a bad experience, you're gonna have to give people good games to play whenever they're in there. It's not really as much about finding the audience as much as it is about keeping the audience, and I think that pretty much sums it up perfectly. Anyways, thank you very much for everybody that left comments, that voted on the poll. I love doing community day stuff every week. This is like the video that I look forward to most because it's like totally unscripted. I just grab some comments, I like see exactly what everybody's thinking, I like chat to people about it afterwards in the Discord, links down below. But yeah. But anyways, as always, thanks for watching this video. Please consider subscribing if you like Xbox videos. If you like videos like this or anything else to do with Xbox, then consider trawling through the videos on the channel and seeing if it's worth your subscribe. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.